Dave Toromeo here for Latin Business Today and the Sports Business Institute. It's my great pleasure to be joined today by Josias Manzanillo. And I'm sure I'm not saying it right, so I'm going to go with Manzy from here on out because that's his nickname, and I think that's what he prefers. So, Manzy, welcome to the sports content channel of Latin Business Today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. So, I have to start because I'm a little older than you. Few years older, and growing up a big baseball fan in New York, Mets fan. And obviously you spent several years with the Mets, and but I have to start with where you're from, because when I was a kid, it seemed like every great shortstop in the league was from your hometown. Why don't you tell? And obviously, if anybody doesn't know anything about the DR or San Pedro de Macorís, then you don't know anything about baseball, because they have put out some amazing baseball players, and this is one of them. So tell me about that, growing up in that town.
Well, you're right about that. Yes, we do make a lot of shortstop. And back then, when I was a child, that's what I was doing. I was trying to become a shortstop, but the competition is such a high level. One of my coach on a young stage tells me, if you want to play for me, you're going to have to switch from shortstop to pitch. And I wasn't happy about it, but it did work out, because a year later, I turned into a pro. So it worked out really and very beneficial for me.
Okay, excellent. Yeah. So, and a pitcher you did become, and certainly a wonderful, career with many different teams, starting with the Red Sox, correct?
Yes, the Red Sox were the native team that brought me to United States, and I was with them for 9 years. Only have played 1 month in the big league with them.
Okay. And then obviously I'm not going to go through them all, but the Mets, a couple different tenures with the Mets, the Brewers, the Yankees, a few years with the Pirates, Cincinnati Reds, and Seattle. And let's stop at Seattle for a second, because you have been voted the most courageous player in Seattle history. And I don't want to relive that for you, but just if you could just tell us, a little bit what happened, because it was a little scary.
Well, at the time it was difficult, but I kind of learned how to live with it. I understood the risk that involved playing the sport, and especially being the pitcher, the first line of defense when the ball is hit. You're so close that sometimes you don't have that much time to react to it. And obviously, it was in the major league level where you really are dealing with the professional hitters. They really know what they do. And the guy that did this to me, it was none other than Manny Ramirez, when he was on his high stage in his career. And I learned a lot from there.
Yeah.
From that.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And just so people understand, you were hitting a very tender spot, and not only fielded the ball, I believe you threw him out and then ran off the field. So nobody really knew just how much really damage was done there. But that shows a lot of grit, and certainly somebody who is pretty tough. So yeah, you're right. I mean, that pitcher's, when you throw that ball, and those guys, man, they and it's always scary to see that ball go back through the box like that. But we're glad you're okay, and obviously things did work out. But so tell me a little bit. I'm actually curious, Manzy. Of all the teams and all the cities you played in, what is your favorite city in the U.S. or when you were there to play it for the home team?
Well, my favorite city that I like out of all the city that I visit was San Diego.
Okay.
As a visitor, I play always against them. I never play for them. But the favorite team that I enjoyed the most, that I feel that I had the most success, and not just because of the success, mostly because of the people, it was in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I
Okay.
really enjoy play for the Pirates, and I really enjoy the Pittsburgh City. The people out there, they are so friendly. They welcome you, and they help you. It's like it's a familiar town,
Gotcha.
if you put it that way.
Yeah.
And I really loved it through the whole time that I was there.
Excellent. Well, that's a good answer. Listen, that friendly people. It's good to be around friendly people, right? It's people who support you, especially when you're in a role of a ball player. So, Manzi, tell me a little bit about your post career. You've been out of the league, so obviously I have this thing in front of me that you're involved with, but I don't really know, exactly what it is. Manzi Farm System. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, since before I left the game, the last 2 seasons, I used to go to Memorial West in Pembroke Pine, and that's in Pines here in Florida. And that's what I used to go train and prepare myself to go on to do my season. In the meantime, the hospital has developed a developmental program for young kids and stuff. So I catch myself working with some young kids in there, and I kind of started liking it. But I used to leave, go back to play. So when I came back, I didn't really spend that much time doing it. But once I finished, the game was over, I chose to stay and work with kids, which has been one of the best decisions that I made in my life. Um, I have fun doing it then. I'm still having a great fun doing it. I enjoy it a lot. I enjoy to see the growth, the development of certain individuals that sometimes fall in my hands, and as the kids, they struggling, they need a positive spin, and they have to hear from somebody. And I really like to be that person to do that. I really like to be part of it. I enjoy the whole process of it. And since then, that's all I've been doing. So the farm system is the name of our company. I prefer that name because I struggled through my minor league career to break to the big league. So in the minor league, we call farm the system. Anything below big league is the farm system. And I had this belief in my mind that whenever I go into work, I wanted to help kids go through that process, or where is the farm, where is the system for them to really enjoy the game. Our goal with this company is not mainly to build up a major league player, it's to build up better men of an earth, because the sports is a great tool that it can be used to really help certain individual to learn for the future. Normally, as you see, kids that has play sports, they have a better understanding with life, with real life itself, because they understand what it is to be a teammate or team player.
Oh, that's well put. Manzi, just for me, just to go back for a second, because obviously I'm a big baseball fan, and I just, I'm always curious as somebody who played not to your level. I mean, high school, college, so, but I still remember great play. I remember bad plays too, but I remember, things that stick in my mind that I either dream about, wake up and just say, wow, that's a great memory for me. How about you? Is there one guy you or one play that sticks in your mind? You kind of go, that was cool.
Well, for me, it's a compilation of situation and things. Coming from a third world country and make it to the higher level to be able to play in major league, every day for me was special. Every day was something like none other. So I enjoy each day, each time that I was spending in the major league level, because there's no other uh, place like the big league to play baseball.
Yeah.
And being in there, I have to, the way that I look at it and approaches is I just enjoy every bit of it, all the aspect on how it was and how it is. So it would be very hard for me to describe that one moment.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. I understand you're living in a beautiful community. And Ave Maria, can you tell me about that place and how that came about?
Well, if we starting with Ave Maria, there's going to be no ending for me.
Oh, okay.
It's just it was like love at first scene or first strike. When I came to Ave Maria with my wife, before I came, I was skeptical to come. I didn't really wanted to do it. And then my wife eventually, through some of our customer, they continued throwing Ave Maria. And I say to her, you know what, we should just go and visit and see, because it's not just her telling me, and now it's other, clients talking about Ave Maria. When we first came, I just tell my wife, this is the place. This is where we are going to live. And there's many, many reasons why I can tell you, but I'm going to tell you the one that impacted me the most. And there I do have an impact moment, one thing that really impacted me. When I first came to United States, 1983, the country, it wasn't, or let's say Florida itself, it wasn't like so much developed, and it wasn't like that big as it is right now, and all the aspect, technology, sports, and everything. So life was a little bit more like relaxed. And me and my wife, after we watch models, homes, and things, we sit down in the Publix that is in the middle of town. So we sit in there and I believe we order a sub sandwich to eat in there before we leave. So while we're sitting there, I see a kid, no older than a girl, not older than maybe 10, 11. I can say 11 years old. She came in her bike and went into the supermarket, came back out with a ice cream, how do I say, the yard, like a
Right.
one time, something
Okay.
for her to eat or something.
Yeah.
So she hopped in her bike again and took off. And I keep following and following and following with my eyes, not physically, with my
Understand.
eyes, to see where she was going. And she was going like about I would say like a quarter of a mile away to go back home. So then after that, me and my wife, okay, we get back in our car. We start kind of driving through the street, and I'm seeing kids no older than 7 and 8 years old playing by themselves on the street, like with no adult supervision and no, like when I saw that, I tell my wife, we have to be part of this. We got to live here.
No. It's like a throwback in time, right? Because I can remember, doing that when I was a kid growing up on Long Island. But now you would, there's certain things you just don't let your kids do alone like that. So that's really nice to hear. If you don't
Well, here
mind,
in Ave Maria, you can live that dream.
there you go. Well, would you mind telling us exactly where in Florida it is, or maybe you want to keep that a secret?
Ave Maria is located west. We are near Naples.
Okay.
The other major, it's a small city behind us called Immokalee, but we are like about 15 minutes from Golden Gate and like about 25 minutes from Naples.
Okay. And is the work you're doing, is that done right there as well?
No, I still work back in Broward in Davie, Florida.
Okay.
I commute. I go back and forth Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
Okay.
And here in Ave Maria, we still thinking and looking on how we are going to be able to become part of the same thing that I do in Broward. It's a small community, it's just breaking ground, so it's going to take some time. before we are going to be capable. So far, the only thing we have been able to do with the league here is before we donate some time and we donate equipment and stuff like that. And is now I just decide to do like lessons on Saturday just to get the feel for and see how the thing is going to play it out.
Good. Well, I'm glad there are people like you in this world for several reasons, Manzy, and one of them is to keep the great game of baseball alive. And I know it's sad for me when I drive around on a beautiful spring or fall day and I see empty baseball fields, and I just think back to my youth when we would be out there every chance we could get, and clearly you were the same way in the DR, and it paid off for you. So that's a good thing. But